So your girl is not in her usual setup, so I can't really like see what's going on. But it is maintenance week and your girl has a couple of things that she has to do. I just finished bleaching my eyebrows. So if it looks like I don't have any, that's because mind your business. That's what it's for. But I do need to do my lashes. And as I do my lashes, I'm going to talk to you all about a little bit of nothing and a little bit of something. Okay. When I was younger, I always wanted to do content. Like I grew up on the Dieras and all of the girls that did the content. And I really wanted to do my own content. And when I started doing my content was always based around my life. It was always based around my journey, the things I experienced, basically leaving my content as a diary to my life. Now, the thing about doing content is that it's very hard to do a diary about your life when there's so many people watching. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's certain things that you're not like comfortable talking about. And you know what I'm saying? I am a very private person to the point where like I don't just be running around just telling the girls my business. Like I don't be telling my business, y'all. I don't. I'm trying to figure out which lash I want to go with. Let me figure this out and then I'll come back. I've never been the type of person to just like tell my business. Now, don't get me wrong, my friends, I'll tell you in a heartbeat. But like random people on the internet. But then I also have heard that like I need to start treating y'all like my friends. But then at the same time, I'm too logical for that. You know what I mean? I'm too logical for that because I know some of y'all are not really my friends. You know what I'm saying? And I went through the journey in real life to realize, you know what I'm saying, who my friend and who not my friend. So it's like, I'm not about to get on the internet and be sitting here acting like y'all my friends and then be getting mad at y'all because, girl, these are not your friends. Like, let's be so for real. Some of y'all are cool, some of y'all cool, some of y'all are not. But, I do think I want to get a little bit more like personal on here, not in a sense of like telling y'all my business, but more so just telling y'all like what my experiences are. And I know that once I get to I know for a fact I'm gonna get to a point of me being comfortable speaking about the things that I've gone through. And the thing about me not speaking about a lot of them is because a lot of the things that I've gone through, I'm still going through. Like I'm still actively dealing and processing with these things. So it's not like they're the past. And I've never been one to like be going through something with someone and like you're able to like look on my social media and be like, oh yeah, that post is about me, or oh, you know what I'm saying? That just never gave me. So it's very difficult and it's very hard. But I do feel like there are people out there who have probably, not even probably, who have gone through similar things that I've gone through. Like I really just want my page to be like, there is no niche. Like this is just my life and I really just want to document where I am now, where I came from and where I'm gonna go. In the midst of this conversation, let's do a little bit of a, I guess you can say, get to know me. As you can see, my name on here is Journey Takila. My real name is Nakila. I don't like people calling me by my name. I did not like my name when I was younger because it took so much repeating and spelling and no, this is how you pronounce it, and no, that's how you pronounce it. But I've grown a love for my name because my name was given to me by my late Auntie Nita, who I adore dearly. A lot of people in my family say that they remind me of her. I've never been able to truly officially meet her in a sense of remembering any memories, but I do know that she was there for me a lot as a child and as I was in the womb, and she was the one that gave me my name. I don't know what my name mean. I grew up thinking that my name I was told that my name meant joy in Swahili. I don't know how accurate that is, okay? That's just what I was told. But I have always been a joyful, smiley person, even though a lot of people say that I remind them of Wednesday from the Addams Family, which is also very accurate because it just is, child. It just is. But I go by Nick because I feel like my name is something that's very deep and personal to me, that I really don't like a lot of people calling me by my name. Like, I really only allow the people that like I'm really close with to call me by my name, because it's one of those things where, like, if you don't know me, you shouldn't be calling me Nikayla. Like, I don't even care if you met me as Nikayla. If you don't know me, my name is Nick to you. And plus Nick is just who I've grown into be. You know, Nikayla was who I was born as. Nick is just who I am. My pronouns are that bitch. No, but seriously, my pronouns are that bitch. I remember going through like a whole thing when the pronoun things came out, and I really wanted to come out as they, them, because most of the time I don't identify and I don't feel she, her. Like, I just don't. I have a lot of masculine energy and I'm very comfortable in my masculine energy. Like, don't get me wrong, me being in a relationship, I am able to bring out that soft side of me, but I still very much, I just love, there's just something about the masculine energy that I love. I am bisexual. I'm with a man, the love of my life. But I have dated women in the past, like in my teenage years and stuff like that, in my younger days. But a stud broke my heart, and I decided, yeah, bitch, I'm done. But that wasn't even really done with girls. That was just more so like just done with people in general. Like, bitch, I don't even want to be in another relationship again. I vowed I'm not doing this shit no more. So, yeah. I am 25 years old. I am a Cancer. Yes, I am. Please don't tell me that just because you're a Cancer, we're just alike, because I've always heard since I was younger, people don't even think I'm a Cancer. Because I don't act like any of the other Cancers. I don't identify by my zodiac. Like, I don't be like, oh, I'm like this because I'm a Cancer. No, it's just what my zodiac sign is. What else? I am the eldest daughter of I am the oldest of 7. I'm the 8th. I have more siblings on my dad's side than I do on my mom's side, but I am the oldest, so that explains a lot, doesn't it? I know. Explains a whole fucking lot. I have mommy issues. I have daddy issues. Yeah, we get the best of both worlds over here, Bookie Butt. We get the best of both worlds. I do not really speak to either one of them, simply for my peace. My father has been incarcerated since I was 14. He was in and out of jail from the time I was born to now. Well, to when he got locked up when I was 14, and this is the longest that he's ever been in prison. Well, this is the longest he's ever been in jail, but he's pretty sure he's in prison now. I was born and raised on the south side of Chicago. I did move around a lot when I was younger, simply because I didn't want to be where I lived, if we're being quite honest. So I've lived in Danville, I've lived in Carpenterville, I've lived in Elgin, I've lived in, child, I done lived all, you know what I'm saying? I done lived a couple of places, okay? Because when I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go. I was a very independent kid, not really by choice, but I am very good at adapting to my situation. So it just was what it was. You know what I'm saying? I was a very independent kid who grew up to be a very independent little woman. I've worked a job since I was like damn near 14, 12. I am a spoiled brat. That was literally the nickname that my father gave me. My father gave all me and my siblings nicknames because my father was he was in the streets. He was in the streets and he was selling at work. And we had rules to where we could not tell anybody our name. So every sibling, we had to have a nickname and we had to call each other by that nickname or we would get in trouble. My nickname, of course, was Brat because that's truly what I am to my core. That's something I cannot change. I'm a brat. I want what I want and I'm going to get what I'm going to get because I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm damn near close. And why do I not deserve to get what I want? Like I've never understood that, and I don't think that's something I'm never going to understand. I think I'm always going to be a brat. I'm always going to want what I want, and I'm always going to get what I want, period. And that's just my mindset. I stopped talking to my dad back in I think the last time I talked to my dad, like on the phone, was back in like 2021 or 2020. It was kind of like when I first moved into my apartment. I got my first apartment when I was 20. That was something that I always wanted, always needed. I am very big on my peace, especially since I've suffered from mental illness, depression, suicide ideations or suicide attempts. I have attempted multiple times in my high school, teenage years. We had a lot going on back then, child. A lot. But I got myself out of those dark places simply because of my relationship with God. I am not a religious person. I am not I don't identify or I'm not connected to any religion or any label. I believe in God because God believes in me and because of things that I've witnessed and conversations that I've had. And I don't care about what other people believe in. It's never bothered me. I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, if we're really being honest, we're all arguing about the wrong things anyway. Like, if we're gonna argue about something, let's talk about them goddamn files. You know what I'm saying? Fuck what you believe in. What they doing on them islands. I'm trying to think, what else could I tell y'all? I don't have many friends, if I'm being quite honest, from 2018 to 2022. Friends have been dropping like flies around this motherfucker. I'm talking about they only got 3 days to live. And that's simply because I grew up acne, little chunky, little dark skinned girl, very insecure, very much a people pleaser, very much walked on eggshells, very much just let people say anything, very much just felt bad for people. I think I had this I don't know how to say it. This might be the wrong phrase, but I think I had a savior complex to the point where I would be friends with people, and even though they would put me in terrible situations or they would do things to show me that they weren't my friends, I would still very much stay friends with them because I understood so much as to why they were the way that they were. So I understood that this is not a person that can be there for me or show me love or think about me in a way of keeping me safe, because that's not who they are and that's not who they've ever been taught. And even though I've never been taught those things, I still learned what I learned. I had to learn a lot of things on my own. A lot of the things that I learned, even about me being a woman, was me picking up certain things that women would do, or me paying attention to certain things that women would do, or honestly, sometimes it would just be trial and error. You know what I'm saying? It would just be trial and error, child, if I'm being quite honest. Like, I wasn't really taught like a lot of things in terms of being a woman. The only thing that I was taught was don't have sex, if I'm being quite honest. Like, you know, there was really no education in that field. It was just don't do it. And it was like, all right, well, I guess. And I was a very good kid. Like, I was very much like, I lived my life according to what I felt my parents wanted from me. So I didn't rebel, really. I didn't rebel. I didn't step out of the box. I didn't go against what my parents said. I really held myself to a standard of, you know, just doing whatever to keep the peace. And if me keeping the peace is living my life the way that this person wants me to live it, then that's just what I'm gonna do. Because I don't like negativity, and I just don't like negativity. I don't like low vibrational energy. I don't like arguing. I don't like yelling. I just don't like it. Like, it really does something to me, especially because I'm such an understanding person, and this is a way that I've been since I was a kid. Like, I remember when I was younger, I would always hear, like, you know, you're so wise for your age. You're so wise for your age. And with me being so wise, it was like I never understood certain things. Like, I just never understood why certain people were the way that they were, or why they treated certain people a certain way. Like, I just never got it. I never understood it. I never understood being rude to people. And 9 times out of 10, my relationship with God is so strong, and my relationship with my higher self is so strong, that even if I do something wrong, because don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm just this perfect human being, because I'm not. I got my flaws just like everybody else has their flaws. The only difference is I'm okay with being checked on my flaws. Quick story, as this video is 20 minutes long. I remember when I was in high school, and when my dad first got locked up, like, it really did something to me, because like I just knew deep down in my heart that this wasn't going to be like all the other times. Like, when my dad would get locked up, he would be in there for like 6 months to a year, maybe a year and a half is the most that he would do. And then he would be out for like 6 months to maybe a year, and then he would be right back in. But he would always come out. He would always come back. And something about this time when he went to jail, when he got locked up, I literally told him myself out of my own mouth. I told him not to leave, because I was scared that he wasn't going to come back. And I don't know why I was feeling that so heavy that day. And it's so surprising that like he really did not come back. Like I've always known, quick little shortcut into the story, ADHD. I've always known that I was spiritual, and that I was aware of things that other people were not aware of. My grandfather is, I don't know what my grandfather considers himself by label, because my grandfather does also believe in God and things like that. But my grandpa was a very spiritual. Why do my lashes always look different? Is it like, what are we doing wrong? This eye always looks better than this eye. I digress. But my grandpa was always a spiritual individual. And I remember when I was younger, when he would talk to us about certain things, when I would respond, I can tell by the look in his face that he would be like, why do you understand what I'm saying? And me and my grandpa would have conversations all the time. My grandpa is one of my favorite people in my family. When it comes to the adults, he's my favorite. My grandpa has taught me so much. I literally feel as though I am who I am because of my grandfather. My grandfather is the reason why I don't react to things so quickly. My grandfather is the reason why I spared a lot of you motherfuckers. My grandpa taught me a lot, and I appreciate that man. My grandpa also is the reason why I have such a strong love for music. Something that a lot of you probably don't know is I sing. I used to sing a lot when I was younger, like a whole lot. I thought I heard something. I used to sing a whole lot when I was younger. I stopped because I felt like a goddamn monkey. Like like every single sing, 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 sing. How about am I okay? Okay, I'm spiraling and you're telling me to sing Adele for the 5th time today. Calling my phone, you haven't even checked on me. You just telling me to sing for somebody in the car. That's a core memory, trauma. But I forgot how we got there. But to go back to the story, I was really hurt when my father got locked up. And I think the reason why it messed me up so much that time was because one, I knew he wasn't coming back, but also like high school is like a big deal. Like, you know, like high school is like, you know, you got prom, you got graduation. And it was like my dad had never been to any of my graduations, not kindergarten, not 8th grade, because he was always locked up. And it was kind of like, you know, I knew I wasn't going to college. Like I knew that that wasn't my plans. I did want to go to film school. That didn't happen. Maybe I'll do a story time on that one day. I don't know. But it was just kind of hitting me because it was just like, damn, like I told you don't leave, you still left. And he did some shit that like I wanted to address before he was gone, but I didn't get a chance to. Like, you know, you're not gonna be there for these big moments. And then that made me start overthinking into him not being there for even bigger moments, like my wedding and stuff like that. It was a lot. It was just a lot for me. And I remember me being so angry that like I was mean to a lot of my classmates. And I remember specifically there was, I think I talked about this on my YouTube. There was this boy whose mom had passed away. I didn't know she passed away, but like we were saying stuff to each other back and forth. And I said something about his mom. And then of course everybody else that knew that his mom passed was like, and I kind of just said I don't care. I was like, and like, what does that change? Like I still said what I said. But one thing about God and one thing about me is I know who I don't want to be and I know who I want to be, and God makes it very clear when like I'm not supposed to be doing something or I'm not supposed to do certain things. And I remember when I went home that night, I felt so bad and I was just like, that's not you. Like you and I psychoanalyze myself a lot in my actions. I literally was like, you know, that's not you. You did this because of this, because you're just so angry, and now you're just putting that anger out on other people. And I've experienced that firsthand of someone just being so wrapped up in their emotions that they take them out on you, and that's just not fair to anybody. So like literally the next day when I went to school, I apologized. Like I didn't give him any like explanation. I was just like, you know, that was wrong of me. Like, you know, I didn't mean to be insensitive. And me and him grew to be like really cool throughout my high school year because it was just like, you know, and he understood, but also it was just the fact, like, you know, the fact that you came and apologized, you know, says a lot. And I don't know how we got to this part of the story either, but yeah, trauma. Oh yeah, no, I still don't know how we got to this part of the story. You know, that's what it was. I was a very angry child, but I got myself together because I was just like, girl, that is not cool. That is not what we do. We do not act like that. And then out of high school, I went to cosmetology school. I didn't finish because, girl, that's not, well, no, I did finish. I just didn't go get my license because, girl, that's not what I wanted to do. That is not what I wanted to do, baby. No. And I'm not going to say what I wanted to do because I'm still going to do it. So that's like a little bit about me and, you know, my life and, you know, who I am. We are going to talk about more things because I feel like this is something that is holding me back? I think my fear of speaking on my life experiences are holding me back, and I'm giving them a little bit too much power. And at the same time, I am still giving grace to people who have never even considered me in their lives. You know what I'm saying? And that's my issue. And I keep hearing it, like, talk about these things, talk about these things. You know what I'm saying? Especially due to the fact that, like, it could help someone else, and it could, help me process these things a little bit more. But the thing about it is just like, I don't know, it's so much, and it's a lot for me. I have to give myself time to process these things first before I bring them here, because I never like to speak from a place of anger or hurt. You know what I'm saying? I always like to speak from a place of like, okay, I've gone through it, I've went through it, I've processed it, and now this is how I truly feel. I never like to, I'm not one to ever speak out of anger or frustration or even out of emotions. I really prioritize expressing myself a lot. But that was a little bit of a get to know me. I do have a couple of things, like if there's anything that you all want to see in terms of this channel or anything that you want to know, like feel free to ask me anything. If I don't want to talk about it, I'll just say I don't want to talk about it. But until next time, thank you for watching Journey's channel.